this is the Caldera, Trail Designs Caldera Keg. I'll unbox it for you. That's the caddy, 2 pieces, 2 caddies. That's the lid. As you can see, it's just the top of a Foster's lid that I've just put an elastic band on, just save my hands. Put a slightly small elastic band, I suppose. That's the stove. That's a 1210 stove. As you can see, all the little holes around there. That's where I guess the oxygen gets sucked through and the flame comes out the top there. It's lovely. It's really good, very light. Little Trail Designs emblem, you can't really see it's out of focus, but anyway, there you go, that's that. The Vargo methylated spirits. That's essential rather than the one that they send is pretty useless in my opinion. That's the cone, Trail Designs Caldera cone. And you get one of these lip guards, I'll just put round there. There's a lip guard, I'll show you in a second. That's the cone. Inside, the actual cook pot itself, or the keg, is the cosy. That's the cosy it comes with, just standard sort of like a space blanket sort of material. Like that. Something like, nothing to it really, I'll show you that in a minute. And that's the pot. And it's just a Foster's keg pot, crap beer, decent tin. I've reinforced the bottom of it there. There's no weight in this, so it's the lightest thing I've come across really. It's lighter than my ever new sort of cook set. Comes with this over the top of it, so you can potentially drink from that. God knows why you want to though. You know, that's all like reinforced. It's flattened out a little bit. Inside they've put another layer inside there as well, just to stop, I guess, the aluminium from degrading or whatever inside it. So that's that, and they've got a mark there. That's 1 cup, 2 cups. 1 cup being 500 mils, I should imagine. So you've got 1 litre basically there. Could do with getting some indicators in there. I might try and figure out how to do that, just so I can put them in my freeze dry food. But that's that. And the cone unravels. It always tells you when you buy these things, just watch what you're doing. It goes as so, you've got like an angled sort of bit there. That bit there, it's reinforced with titanium at the back that RAM does. And the bit goes in there at a slight angle. That's, I don't know if you can see it. You can do it while on the film. That slides into there. Sorry, I'm trying to film and do that at the same time. And that's it, that's your cone. Make sure it's straight because it's been inside there. That's it. No weight in it at all. So that's that. And then your pot goes into that as such. And you've got like I said before, the rim around the side of it there. Stops you from going under. That's your little viewing thing there. So basically, that goes on top of that. And then you've got your stove, your cook set there, so you'll be able to see the flame, which I'll show and demonstrate to you in a minute. That's your top, as before. Plonks on the top there. The other thing to watch with this, obviously, because it's got no insulation there, as you would with an ever new or whatever cook set, you've obviously got to be careful how you handle this. This is absolutely boiling hot. It feels hotter than the bloody titanium because it's only thin material. And then what you do is, when it starts to boil, as I'll show, Cozy goes over the top of that. You have to be careful because it's on a table at the minute, but on the ground it's quite stable. That goes over there. When it's hot, you can only just about get that halfway. So you get it over to about there. Then you pick the pot off there, which comes off fairly easy, I'll show you afterwards. And then put it down on your ground, and then put the Cozy over it. And then you can take the lid off and pour your water, or so. And that's it really. I'm not quite sure what the second one's for. I think it's a replacement, or you could potentially put it around the cone itself just so you can manhandle that a little bit. But that's it basically. That's your stove. Great little unit, and it packs away, which I'll show in a bit. Just going to put some methylated spirits in there. 7 little squirts, thereabouts. Thereabouts about 25 mils, I would say. 500 mils, it's up to that line. So just light the methylated spirits now. Pour action. There you go. And then put the cone and the other thing, and then pong that on it. Press start and allow it to go. Okay. So it is boiling. So 1 minute gone. It's before, still boiling. Oh, it's on the go anyway, certainly. If you can see inside there, take this down a second. You can have a look inside. It's difficult to see inside there. The flame is definitely on because it's daylight. It's very difficult. That's the problem with the methylated spirits, to see it. As Rand explains, and a few other people on YouTube, I guess, is just just put your hand down over the top of the flame just to get a sense of the heat coming through, because it's like an invisible flame in daylight. 3 minutes have gone by. 3:30. Probably take about 8 minutes to boil this, which is about 500 mils, 1 cup, as Americans term it, I guess. Some hot chocolate. I'm going to use these as cups in the field to save weight. Don't really need anything else. Potentially use the other cup for my alcoholic beverages, or perhaps as a eating vessel, whatever way you want to look at it. It makes a lot of sense to keep everything together. It does lose a bit of weight here and there, but like I said before, that goes on top of that when that's ready. 5 minutes 20. Nothing significant. It's definitely got a little bit of a boil going on there. It's not going to take long now before it's rolling. 6 minutes, you can hear it, I hope. Just take this off here and we can get a demonstration. Like I say, the elastic band helps a great deal, because we're touching that metal thing, protrudes a little bit. Rolling boil. There you go. So we're at 6:35 or I'll say 6:40 now. It was 6:35 when it was boiling. And that is your Caldera boil. So I'll just put this lid down there. Okay, continue to watch the clock, because that's because it's quite important now. Put that back on for a second. That cosy goes over the top of that, making sure you don't burn your hands. And you lift this off. That's it. That's down there more. Take the lid off the thing. You can probably see the flame of that, whatever going there. And then move this to one side, and then pour just a little bit into my hot chocolate. It's 500 mils, it's a litre, so I wouldn't be using all this. I'll put it into my flask or something. Nice. Options. Cozy's a bit tight, but it's okay. Not really a problem. So we're 8:28 at the minute. And it's still boiling. There you go, there's my hot chocolate. Cheers. This is food grade plastic, like I said before. Yeah, it gets a bit warm, it's hot because it's boiling water. Perhaps put a cosy around that as well. Keep that nice and hot. Not really necessary because I take a little bit of a little thermos flask in the field, so it just keeps everything piping hot. So when I get up to my camp, I boil a litre of fluid, which is, I guess, probably 2 cups of this. So it'll go pretty much to the top of here, more abouts. Boil all that for me, put it into my thermos, take a cup of that off maybe for a drink to have a brew, and Bob's your uncle. Cheers, guys. See what it tastes like out the cup. Perfect. There's no difference. Excellent. So going fairly strong at 13 minutes and 15 seconds. Quite well, really. So here we are. 15 minutes. It's going well. Considering the boil came to a rolling boil about 6 minutes 35 for 500 mils, 1 cup. Now, if you guess you put into quantify that with 1 litre, you're probably looking at about 8 minutes, 9 minutes perhaps. Probably a bit less of that for 1 litre. Obviously, in the cold, in a winter camp, you're cutting that down again. But, you know, you're looking, that's the sort of thing. It's starting to peter down now. The methylated spirits are starting to burn out. I'm not sure if you can still see it's still there, but it's enough. I would wager that if you put your pot on top of that, it'd be enough to just carry on that boil easily, because obviously it's starving itself and it's heating itself a bit more because of the oxygen. So we're looking at 16 minutes, and it's just about to go out. And there you go. 16 minutes and 5 seconds, I think it was. So about 30 mils, 25, 30 mils of methylated spirits. My opinion, excellent stuff. So drinking my hot chocolate. Cheers, guys. Okay, guys, I'm just going to pack it up now. Everything's dry, everything's cool. Doesn't take long to cool out this thing either. So what we've got is a keg that goes plonks in inside so. We've got the little cosy that goes in there as so. You try and get that as close to the edge as you can. Have it out. Can you see that in there? Okay. The cone itself does like that. Okay, just wrap it up. So that one then, that goes on the outer side where the cosy is. So keep the in there with the reinforced bit in the inside to allow for the bottle to be put in there if you so wish. You don't have to if you don't want to. That pops in like there with ease. It doesn't push against it, so you have to make sure the cone's quite wide at the bottom. Okay, 1210 goes on top of that. A saw. Okay, and then your lid, or perhaps your spare thing goes there, and then that goes on top. Like so. Screw it down. Boom, 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 boom. And that is your cone. Well, your Caldera Keg F. All good to go, basically. It's all sorted. And there we are. This is another option that I tried before. Keep this out rather than pushing it all into the cone itself. Just decant this for you quickly. Lid, spare. There's your stove. Inside there, I've got all necessary stuff. Got the bit foldable titanium spork. Got the sweeteners. Got my Soto Bunsen burner. If that all fails. And inside there, I've got another lighter, spare lighter I could keep on my pack. and then my fire steel. So there you go. So you could do it like that if you so wish. Keep that as a separate sort of place. It's entirely up to you, whatever way you want to do it.